You know how we always get excited about the cool new product inside the box? Well, what if the box itself was the real revolution? Today, we're going to unpack how GeneCapsule is completely rethinking packaging, turning it from a massive problem into a brilliant part of the solution. Okay, so to really get why this matters, you have to wrap your head around this number: 80 million tons. That's how much packaging waste gets generated every single year. It's a literal mountain of plastic and cardboard that's clogging up our planet. That's the scale of the challenge we're actually up against. So it all boils down to this one big question, right? How do we keep creating and delivering all the amazing products we love without completely burying ourselves in trash? It's this constant tension between progress and the planet. And that tension, well, you could call it the packaging paradox. I mean, think about it. We need packaging. It protects our food, our delicate electronics, our medicine. It's absolutely essential. But the very thing that's designed to protect our stuff is now threatening our environment. Just think about your day so far. That coffee cup you grabbed this morning, the plastic wrap on your lunch, that box that just showed up at your door. We are living in a world of single-use stuff, where almost everything comes in something that's designed to be immediately considered trash. The whole system is basically built for the garbage can. Okay, so what is it exactly that makes this whole system so unsustainable? Because if we're going to find a solution, we first have to really understand the problem. Let's break down the key issues with the packaging we all use today. What you're looking at here are two totally different ways of thinking. On the left, you've got the linear economy. That's our current system. Take, make, waste. It's a one-way street to the landfill. But on the right, that's the goal, a circular economy, where we design things to be reused, remade, or recycled, keeping all those valuable materials in a loop instead of tossing them. And the biggest culprits in that old-school linear model, well, they're probably pretty familiar. We're talking about single-use plastics that stick around for centuries, way too much material for tiny little products, all those components that can't be recycled, and, of course, the fact that most of it starts as fossil fuels. These are the main offenders in our waste crisis. But here's the cool part. What if we could design packaging that actually works with nature, not against it? And that's where the story shifts, because GeneCapsule is coming in with a really smart solution. So the heart of their big idea is this concept: regenerative materials. Basically, instead of drilling for oil, they start with plants. Things like corn, sugarcane, or even algae. Then they use some really cool science to turn them into high-performance materials that, at the end of their life, don't become waste. They literally become nutrients for the soil. And this is how they do it. It all starts with ethically sourced plants. Then, some innovative material science, like using fermentation to break down plant sugars, transforms them into a material that's both durable and protective. And the final result? Packaging you can literally throw in your own compost bin at home, turning it right back into healthy soil. And that is the key takeaway here. See, this approach isn't just about making less waste or being a little less bad for the environment. It's about creating a totally different, positive system. It's a true life cycle, where the end of one product's journey is actually the beginning of something new. So, what happens when a company actually starts thinking this way? Well, the benefits go way beyond just an empty compost bin. There's this incredibly powerful and positive ripple effect. Just take a look at this chart. It's comparing the carbon footprint of old-school plastic packaging with GeneCapsule's material. I mean, the difference is dramatic. Just by switching the starting material from fossil fuels to plants and redesigning the whole life cycle, they slash CO2 emissions. That is a huge, tangible win for the climate. And this quote from GeneCapsule's head of sustainability, it really just gets right to the heart of what they're trying to do. You know, for so long, it felt like you had to choose. Do you protect the product or do you protect the planet? Their goal is to prove you can, and that you must do both with the exact same level of passion. All right, so this brings us to the bigger picture. What GeneCapsule is doing is incredible, for sure, but its real power is in its potential to change how all of us think about the things we make and buy and throw away. It's really about rethinking our entire footprint. Look, this is so much bigger than just one box or one company. What GeneCapsule has created is a blueprint, a new playbook. They're showing that it's actually possible to create packaging that's functional, that's beautiful, and that's truly sustainable. This shouldn't be a niche idea. This should be the new standard for everyone. So I want to leave you with this one last thought. What if we all started asking this question? What if we decided to value the container just as much as we value the contents? It's a pretty simple question, but it's one that could change everything about how we design, consume, and live on this planet.